Yo guys, what is going on? Nickname is just Yellow, and today this Norwegian hardcore PC gamer is gonna make a video about the recent patch 1.35.00, which made a lot of changes to Counter-Strike. Why I'm making this video externally from the other one though is because a lot of people are experiencing frame drops and bugs with the animations, so I figured I would just cover that and explain to you people why you then are getting frame drops at least. I mean the animations not being as fluent and or as unbuggy rather as possible, that is essentially just a thing about coding stuff properly and covering bugs. So eventually all of those issues are going to be fixed. Now, the matter of fact that they are now more fluent and that there are more actions and mechanical aspects towards the animations, this is technically taxing on a computer because you have to process more different kind of types of data in this kind of avenue. What that means is that the overall frame rate will drop, just like with having more hitboxes that are more detailed in the game. Now, the compromise here that has been hit is that the hitboxes are still pretty basic, but they are a little bit different, and while that is also a thing right now, the hitboxes are bigger in every dimension, but they're still not covering the technical points on a face, for example, in you know, with your characters that you're running around with in the game. A nice example is if you're playing on cash and you want to shoot one of the terrorists from the side in the face, you can literally sneak your bullet through his entire face until you suddenly then eventually hit the head hitbox. So they are not perfect, but they're way better because now they are leaving way less, you know, possibility of just a chance of a bullet to miss rather than hit, and that I'm completely fine with. As for the animations, technically all of this is a little bit more taxing on older computers rather than, you know, more modern computers. This is just how these kind of progressions with the game development are going to go, which in the case of Counter-Strike is a lot better than with other kind of games, mainly because the game is constantly being worked on rather than being re-released every single fucking year, which is why I don't prefer Call of Duty anymore, even though again I got 4,500 hours in those games. But then again, that just makes me appreciate and play Counter-Strike way more, because that is just a superior game from my kind of technical perspective and enjoyment, even though again people can play whatever they like and also, you know, whatever else really. So what we have then left behind with is just Valve having to put in more work into Counter-Strike, and I've yet to hear any other counterclaims towards the development team in Counter-Strike being more than 7 people, which I find to be very worrying. Shouldn't it be like 15 people by now, at least, a minimum? I mean, after all, they're working on one single game that constantly is being worked on. What this then means is that since we already have the entire game, you can just fine-tune, make improvements, do coding differently, properly fine-tune it so that we get a higher frame rate. Now, a different kind of take on that entire issue might be that they're literally just working on keeping the game as good as it can be right now, and instead there might be even more people pumped into the division that are constantly working on the Source 2.0 engine. If you people have not read about the entire description of what that engine is supposed to do, it's supposed to make games just play way better on older hardware, and they're supposed to utilize and give you more opportunities and options when you were playing the game as is with the Source engine 2.0, which currently right now is only in works on Dota 2 in a beta stage, which is fine, I guess. I mean, the game is bigger, there will be more players, and with a beta test in that kind of avenue, naturally then there's going to be more data to collect, and as they keep on constantly working, maybe we'll have some nice, lovely edition of a game that we can slap together with Counter-Strike. I meant game engine, sorry, misspoke. You know, yeah, so we essentially can get a higher frame rate, even though, again, right now we are running through hitches. But this here kind of opens up an entire conversation of criticism that has to be put onto Valve, because I'm just speculating right here from information that I already know, and I know a decent amount of information around surrounding all these things, and whether or not what I'm talking about is, as I'm making this video, valid or not. Why the hell are Valve not coming out with this information and making it a little bit more clear? Give us a roadmap at least that is updated frequently or semi-frequently. I think that would be way better than only having a little roadmap being there of what you have already pushed out as an update. We already got the update. Why do we need a blog for Counter-Strike then? Other than, you know, giving more context, which was, by the way, pretty nice within the most recent case update, in which we got 2 butt plugs. Wait, I mean 2 mini-dicks. Oh, wait, I mean 2 ninja blades that you can stab at the same time in somebody's back, well, in a sexual manner if you want to. I'm just pointing out how ridiculous it is, okay? I think the knife's technically, the technical design is pretty cool, but it's just a little bit weird to even put in the game at this point. And also, let's be honest, the Source knife knife and or the 1.6 knife and or the beta or 1.0 knife. I think most people that are a little bit older and in general care about Counter-Strike would love those knives a little bit more rather than, you know, to be handed to mini blades. Just my opinion though, but I'm pretty sure that a couple of older people will agree to that. Yeah, by the way, if you have not noticed about this gameplay, this is pre-patch, so I had a good time with the M4. Now I'm just gonna roll with the A4 instead, you know, M4A1, M4A4. So yeah, not too much more to mention about this update other than that you people should be on the standby whether or not this lovely M4A1 will get nerfed or not in terms of damage interaction by armor. That's gonna be very interesting. Whether or not even more bug fixes are going to be pushed out, the more the better, the faster is all I can say. Technically, I'm not really that much of a fan of the new Ninja diffuse, the regular diffuse that we now have to deal with, you know, the new animation, the fucking spaghetti wires, mainly because it gives the T side even more advantages as if the game was not balanced enough from before. I mean, the skilled players are supposed to win regardless, so why even make a fuss and a deal about making it more transparent whether or not somebody are fake diffusing or actually diffusing? Just so many questions Valve should answer, but we're just sitting around here and all we can do is speculate. I find it to be very annoying. But regardless, it's gonna be fun and the game is not being any worse than it was in the past, essentially. So have fun, play matchmaking, and go out there and you know, get that spaghetti going. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoy this video and hopefully you learned something. Regardless, thanks for the support. If you want to support the channel, we got the Patreon stuff. Anyways, have a nice day and don't get beastified when you play, people.